Hello. Welcome to Lucky Ones Wargaming first potential alpha podcast. By alpha, I don't mean above everything else, the absolute pinnacle. I mean, we are in the stage before beta. This is some serious pre-trial shit. Joining me is Adam.
Hello.
And I'm Donovan. We are two normal people who happen to play 40k. And we decided to get together and talk about some shit because we want to.
Yes.
Adam, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. This week has been very chill. Having Monday off was great due to Labor Day. I've gotten a lot painted. I'm actively painting right now. Not currently at the desk, but as soon as we're done here, I will be. Yourself?
I've been good. I just had a 40k match yesterday. It was Eldari versus Chaos Knights. It was a tie, surprisingly.
You tied?
Chaos Knights are very powerful. Yeah, surprisingly. I mean, I brought a pretty decently casual list. Like, it wasn't anything crazy. I'm not slanging 3 Wraith Knights and 3 Fire Prisms, but a casual list against a decently competitive Chaos Knights list, and we managed to tie, is still kind of crazy. That just goes to show how broken Eldar are right now.
Eldar are spicy at the moment. I think we need to set the stage a little bit. So it's currently September. We are in the throes of the very first Codex release from GW for 10th edition. Tyranids have just come out. I myself have not gotten the Codex. I don't own any Tyranids. I have not even perused the Codex like on release. Have you at all?
No,
right.
No, I have not.
Cool. So we're in no position to talk about it, and we're not going to because neither of us play Tyranids. I'm sure Tyranid players are happy. I'm sure they like their bugs. They like their new bugs. They certainly deserved some of those new sculpts that were released earlier. In particular, that God, what is the giant thing called? The Norn Emissary.
The Norn Emissary, yeah.
Norn Emissary kicks ass and looks super cool, and I'm happy they have it. Don't look forward to fighting it. So, but we're not talking about bugs tonight. We're talking about Space Marines because we are original, and no one else plays Space Marines. So who else is going to cover them?
Of course.
Both of us Marine players. You yourself, Iron Hands. Myself, I play Lamenters because I hate myself. But we have some things to talk about because the Nova Open 2023 previews just happened. Was it last week?
Yeah, I think it was last week.
Yeah, and we finally got that other half of Ogrim that we lost because more Tyranid players existed than Space Marine players for the first time in GW history. And I'm very proud of them for that.
Yeah.
But we can move on to the discussion, and the number one thing in everyone's mind is going to be Terminators, because Terminators, they were essentially the poster child for 10th edition from the very first preview. They're in the hearts and minds of every 40k fan, well, most 40k fans, I would assume.
Yeah.
And they're finally getting their kit released.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting looking at it. The Captain Terminator armor is obviously the one that they gave in the Leviathan box is monopose, and now we're getting a really cool one. You can have different options for your guys, and I've got an Iron Hands Terminator right there, which is
looking very
some
good.
Recognition for Iron Hands.
I still have my Leviathan half that is completely unopened, completely undone because AdMech has been consuming my brain and my life. But yeah, like all of the ones that came in Leviathan are push fit, and here we get a good look at the Chaplain as well. Very good Chaplain. Both of these, pretty much all of these Terminators are like funny to me because of my personal situation. So like I said, I have the half of Leviathan completely still on sprue, haven't touched it at all. I plan to, but I made a promise to finish my AdMech first, and Mama didn't raise a bitch. But so the Terminators are there, the Captain is there. And just like a month or two ago, my friend who plays Orcs gave me the original like GW store exclusive Terminator Chaplain, the original one. Like not
No.
like metal or anything, but like the plastic exclusive one. And up until that point where he gave it to me, he's like, I had this lying on my shelf. It's primed, and I'm not going to use it. And so I'm like, oh crap, I'll take that. But up until that point, I had been planning to turn that Terminator captain from Leviathan into a chaplain. And of course, I never got around to it because why would I? I don't have a steady schedule at all. And here they go releasing a new chaplain, so I wouldn't even have to do that even if I still wanted to.
Yeah, so do you mind going back to the chaplain?
Yeah, we can. We can look at him. Oh, this chunky glory.
So, yeah, Chunky Glory, he seems to have he can equip him with a shield or the combi bolter. I assume most people would be doing the shield, but
I mean, to be honest,
slight little
you're going to be sticking him in a squad of Terminators because you're certainly not rolling him
yeah,
out by himself. And correct me if I'm
yeah,
wrong, don't Terminators give you an extra wound now? Considering they all have the 4 up naturally now?
yeah. I think the shield will give an extra
Yeah,
wound.
so it remains to be seen. You might find, I mean, go with whatever you think is cooler because points of war gear mean nothing nowadays.
Oh yeah. Something interesting is you can see from his Crozius. Is that a? It's like a different
Yeah, those
Crozius.
are two
It's
different
just like a
Crozius.
multi-kit. Yeah, it's like a multi-kit Crozius, which is pretty cool. But another little leak that that I saw from a lot of posts is that the chaplain is going to be giving a 4-up feel no pain to a Terminator squad. And I don't know already.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't like that.
that's crazy.
Terminators are expensive, but holy crap.
An already really tanky unit getting a 4-up invuln. I forgot the other thing that he gives, but
Plus 1 to wounded
that's
melee.
insane. Yeah,
That's
like
the generic
that's
chaplain
crazy.
ability. So yeah, Champion Terminator armor is fixed in to bring the storm.
Yeah.
In a variety of ways. So people will be. I mean, you probably won't see him until like the end of the year as an actual release. So hold your breath until then. Look at his little skull face.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, the regular Terminators. Okay, having only seen the picture on the upper left there is the Terminators as they came in the Leviathan box set. You had your Sergeant, you had 1 chain cannon, everyone else was Power Fist and Stormbolter pretty much.
So
And
the one in the top left, they actually have chain fists. You can see the little chain.
oh yeah, little studs on
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
Chain Fist, Power Fist, pretty similar attachment.
yeah, yeah. Very similar. Yeah.
But the thing that's got me excited is we're finally going to have the full kit for the Terminators, which means different heavy weapons, which means the missile rack on the back, which is the coolest part of any Terminators. Like I always find
Oh
myself
yeah. Oh yeah.
going back to like 30K and some of the models they have in that range. Even the crappy resin fine casts, and you show me a 30K Terminator with a missile array, and can't stop looking at it. It's wonderful.
How cool it looks. Is a white scar Terminator. Very cool.
White Scar Terminators almost feel backwards to me because they're so slow.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Weird.
You gotta drop them at the finish line at some point.
Yeah.
I'm excited for all the heavy weapons. I'm excited what people will do with them. Monopose kits, like especially like the ones you get in starter boxes, you can still tweak them, pose them, cut off the little arming peg that comes on like the arms and the torsos, and you can, as long as you're familiar with them, you can kind of pose them however you want, which is how I'll probably end up dealing with mine. But that's all null and void until I actually open that box, so there remains wishful thinking.
Yep. All right. Ready to move on?
Moving on from Terminators, we have something I am very excited and it's kind of got me.
Ooh.
It's kind of got me paused, just a little bit. Now, this captain is free of all guilt. Look at him. He's so stupid looking in all the best ways. He's gilded everywhere. He's got the fancy shoulder pads. He's got the laurels on the helmet. He's an assault intercessor, glitzed up with a cape mounted underneath his jetpack. which is horribly dangerous and irresponsible.
Yeah,
Because that is going to burn and catch fire almost immediately unless it's made of like Kevlar, which it very well might be. I don't pay attention to Space Marine fashion in the 41st millennium. But
I like the Blood Angel jump pack
I don't.
captain.
His Power Fist is a bad choice, just visually. It never looks good on a flying unit.
Is that a combi? Oh, that's a hand flamer.
That's a hand flamer. Yep.
Oh wow.
Hand flamers
It's a
are
strange
still
choice.
hand flamers are still pretty trash, to be honest. Strength 3, no AP still. Not doing much good, but you're not picking any of these guys or the lads we're about to talk about for their shooting prowess.
Oh yeah.
Rather, it's simply an addition. And we can take a look at the jump pack intercessors.
Ooh.
Now here's the thing. I am excited for one particular reason, and that is looking at the Raven Guard guy all the way over there on the right. It's reminding me of Death Company. And Death Company are still firstborn. And God forbid we ever get a new Blood Angels Primaris release, and they finally remake Death Company. I'll be very happy about that. And then we have the guys on the left. Jump pack.
Yeah. They're just assault intercessors with a big intercessors.
Assault intercessors with a bigger backpack.
Yep.
Now here's the thing. We go back and look at the captain. He's a little glitzed up. He's got fins on his legs. He's got the thruster on his heel. He's clearly equipped to take to the sky in a much more direct fashion. Going back and look at these guys, they have no such things. No fins, no thrusters. It is the exact assault intercessor body, slightly reposed, with the same weapons and a jetpack. Now,
yeah.
I'm not upset, mind you. No. In fact, I'm very happy. As someone who has 5 assault intercessors still on sprue, and with some extra jetpacks lying around, I, dare I say it, am going to have a unit of these guys ready before they're even out.
Oh.
I may not know their stats. I may not know 12 inches. I may not know their toughness, 4. I may not know what weapons they could have, the exact same as assault intercessors, but I'll be able to faithfully recreate them. And they'll look wonderful, because their jetpacks will look even cooler, because I got some cool ones.
God, I'm so glad that they're not on the flight stand.
Stupid flight stand. Well, no, they have their tactical rocks, which is just a short flight stand.
Yeah, well, it's not the Inceptor flight stand. That's really annoying.
Okay, here's the thing. The Inceptor flight stands and like the Suppressor flight stands can be fixed as long as you put magnets on them, which nobody should have to do, but I'm just saying, if you do, it makes it work. Because then you can just take them off for transport, they hook onto it, you can spin them around, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love my Inceptors. So yeah, Assault Jump Pack Intercessors should be very nice. They're still going to be T4, sadly. No Gravis Jump Pack unit for melee like we were hoping. Seems like Gravis is going to be limited to shooting and melee only. Or at least slow-moving melee.
Yeah, I mean, I've told this to you many times, Donovan. I really want to see a Jump Pack Gravis melee unit. So like maybe aggressors, but flying. I know that's never gonna happen, but you know, one can hope.
God help me, I might just kit bash a Gravis captain on Jump Pack for the captain on Jump Pack, just because it'll look better. Just to see what it looks like. I could probably make that work.
Yeah.
Like a double-handed glaive or something. Food for thought.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
So, yeah, Jump Marines, sick. Awesome. It's about time. We saw them in Space Marine 2 advertisements forever. They've been long rumored in the pipeline, so it's good that they finally came out in the sun. Moving on to Sternguard. Sternguard are great.
Ooh.
This is the perfect glow-up for a firstborn unit. and I'm just happy the back banner is back as is.
Oh yeah. Uh, I don't know why these ones just look a lot. I don't know. I actually no. I don't know. They look a lot different from the Leviathan Stern Guard. Obviously they're
Yeah.
opposed, but like uh I can't. I don't know. I can't really tell. But I've never seen that double flamer.
Nope, that is
You see
new.
the guy on the right.
They talked about it in, I believe, one of their Twitter posts. I believe it's called the Pyre Cannon.
Yeah.
So some double-barreled, maybe even twin-linked. We don't know yet. But we'll be getting that stat block along with everything else in the Space Marine Codex release, which should be coming in the next month or so, I believe. But yeah, finally they get all their weapon options. They'll have,
next month.
This kit will definitely come with everything that came with the Leviathan set. So the heavy bolter, everything as is. They have their fancy bolters with the AP and dev wounds. These guys are a menace on the tabletop.
Yeah, they're pretty good at shredding infantry. Even sometimes chipping off a couple of wounds.
Right, we had
on
that
big
game
things.
with the Tyrannifex.
Yeah.
Yep.
They killed it.
Yep, chipped 2 wounds off with dev wounds. Got to fire again.
Yep. God, I wish they made combi weapons just good again. They took away the thing that made combi weapons cool, which is being able to fire one or the other, but it's just this weird combi profile, which is like, why?
I understand why. It's because having multiple different combi weapons in a squad was agony, because you had to remember what was what and the order and the strength. And for an experienced player, I'm sure that wasn't a problem. But with how they marketed this edition, they wanted to bring new people in, so simplifying it down to one profile was absolutely the smart thing to do, even if it wasn't the popular thing.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Now, don't get me wrong, Combi Melta's nuts. I loved him. But
yeah,
we'll talk about Melta real soon as we move on to the next guy. You're talking about that. Got their heavy bolter, the little shield on the front. Stern Guard looked great. I'm glad I held off because I was actually still thinking about potentially purchasing some when they were announced for Leviathan. Actually, the second time this year I've been saved from purchasing a Firstborn unit right before they get replaced or Legend. Second time was with Assault Squads, just getting pulled within the last few weeks or so. But then, tying in a little funny story about Melta, we're talking about the new company heroes. Are you familiar with the original Command Squad, or the Company Command box set?
Yeah, you've told me about it.
Yeah, so
a lot of times, actually.
The original box, Firstborn, came with two company veterans, an apothecary, an ancient, a company champion, a captain, and I believe that was it. Basically, you had the choice to build them all as back when 9th and 8th was around for those boxes. You could build those guys pretty much any way you want. You could make each of them their own character and have 2 veterans left over, or you could form them into one veteran squad with all the different options that came in the kit. It was a really good kit, even if it was a little old. But this is their replacement. This is their Primaris version. And I gotta say, it looks good. I'm happy with it. I'll probably end up getting one, but at the same time, I'm a little sad. Adam.
Why is that?
Because when we got Space Marine Index, there was a new unit in there composed of Firstborn Marines that we didn't have before in 9th. And that was the Command Squad. Command Squad consisted of an apothecary, a company champion, an ancient, and 2 company veterans for 5 people, 5 bodies. And it was nuts. It wasn't nuts. It was silly. It was 165 points for those 5 bodies. All the 3 characters, the Ancient, the Apothecary, and the Champion, came as is. You couldn't really change their loadouts too much, except for their pistol. and then that's important. Remember that for later. But the 2 company veterans you could kit out with basically anything you wanted. And with the removal of war gear points, there was no limit. You could have double heavy flamers. You could have chainsword and bolt pistol if you wanted. You could do anything. And the way I had my 2 company veterans kitted out for 9th edition was they had sword and shield. They had a Astartes chainsword and a Astartes shield. And in this new edition, in this index, it meant that they had a 4-up invulnerable save. And on top of that, each model in the unit had 3 wounds. And on top of that, I believe it was at the start of every command phase, the apothecary would bring a model back, except himself.
Yeah.
So, you had the equivalent of 5 Blade Guard veterans with multiple buffs from characters, resurrecting 1 per turn, with 2 4-up invulnerable saves, and then a 3rd one on the company champion, who had precision on his sword. And then the little spicy kicker that made it funny was you could replace every model that had a bolt pistol, you could replace it with any other kind of pistol. Do you want to guess what kind of pistol I replaced him with?
Was it the Inferno pistol?
It was the Inferno pistol.
So
you had 3 at 6-inch range. You had 3 D6 Melta, maybe 4 Melta shots, and if they fired them into combat, it was D6 plus 2, because you were within the 3 inches. It was so silly, and I'm so sad that they're gone. Because now they're popped into Legends. These guys are going to be taking their place. They won't be as funny. They won't be as silly, but damn, they look better. They look
cooler.
They look so much better.
Yeah.
Oh man, and here's the thing. I don't need another Primaris captain. I don't. But the fact that this is its own unit is an excuse that I will take.
Yeah. I could see people just kit bashing all their stuff and putting existing company champions and the banner bearer into a squad and just calling that company heroes.
I mean, all I would need to do is increase the base size on my ancient to have him step into the big boy leagues. So that's a potential project for the future.
Yeah.
I could even see this kid as someone who wants to paint some Space Marines of maybe a different chapter or something. They could just pick up this box and you're set. 5 different Marines, different poses. You want to work on your heraldry. Yeah, I could see this as a nice display piece. Nice kid.
I also like the one of the veterans on the right has a iron hand, mechanical hand,
literal iron hand,
robot hand, yeah. I like that. Definitely gonna make that guy into a cool looking Iron Hand model.
Yeah. No word on how posable and changeable their kit will be, since as a set unit they're probably gonna be pretty locked, but it'll be exciting to find out.
Looking at this unit, hopefully it's not some absurd price. I could see it being $50 or $60, which is reasonable.
I mean,
if get 5 cool looking guys.
If new codex releases are anything, and we're still very early in 10th edition, we don't know how crazy G-Dubs is going to get with the points. So it could swing either way. I foresee it not being cheap, but it depends on what it does. If it's nuts, it might justify the price.
Yep. Hoping for the best.
Right, we got one more unit to talk about, but we also kind of don't. Alright. We got new scouts.
Yeah, new scouts look a lot better. I don't mind scouts. Some Space Marine players will like it more, Raven Guard, but they look better. Look a lot better than the Firstborn one.
There are very few Space Marine kits that are old enough that were still being used that deserved an update. These guys are one of the few units on that list. Yeah,
Oh
like
yeah, oh yeah.
discounting like fine cast characters. Like every faction has fine cast characters that won't replace. Like boohoo. These guys. Here's the thing. I personally don't have an attachment to scouts at all. I'm not deep in the history of 40k. I don't own any scouts. I don't ever plan to own any scouts. They've never checked the cool box for me to ever want to paint them, let alone build them, let alone buy them, to be fair.
Yeah.
The only reason,
That guy with the
the only
little...
reason I could ever see myself potentially getting these guys is if it was for like a bespoke kill team or something. But even then, I'd have to be pretty hard pressed for some entertainment.
Yeah, I could see a kill team being used for these guys. I like the grappling hook that he has.
Grappling
I
hook
don't
goes
know
real
why I
good.
think that's cool. That specific model looks cool. The
And
rest are bad. I
that's
like the sniper guy.
I'm hoping that the scouts break the record of a unit having access to the grappling hook worker that's not reavers, which are useless.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But to be fair, I haven't seen anyone run reavers, so I don't know if they're totally useless yet.
So I think people run Reavers as a character killing unit because a lot of their guys have precision, or I think the entire unit
Yeah,
has
the knives
precision.
are precision.
Yeah, which is like why the knives are never gonna kill anything. So like
It's a big knife. Look at that guy's knife. He's not a reaver, but still, it's a big knife.
yeah, that's actually probably the normal combat knife. That looks like a straight up sword to a
I think scouts do
like
have combat knives, just like the reavers. Yeah.
yeah.
Though I doubt
It
these
looks
ones are precision.
oh yeah, probably not. But yeah, I don't know. Scouts are fine. I
Totally
like
depends on how cheap they are.
yeah,
That'll make or
I
break
like
them.
sniper scouts for the infiltrate, the or whatever they're called. They're pretty good. I know they're pretty good in the meta actually. Other than that, I don't know too much. Good looking models though.
They are deserving of their new duds, and I'm very happy for the people who are happy. I'm glad you got what you wanted.
Yep.
Scouts, scouts, scouts. So we're about closing up here.
Alright.
Those are all the Space Marine reveals. Pretty much got what I wanted. I was hoping the only other thing from Jump Pack Intercessors that I knew were coming was I was potentially hoping for the release of the Terminator Assault kit with the Lightning Claws and Thunder Hammers, but that'll probably just be coming down the pipeline. And to be totally honest, you can just take the existing Terminator kit and do it yourself. It's not going to be that hard.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we were talking about, we mentioned points earlier. We stand upon a very special day tomorrow.
Yep.
Tomorrow's Thursday.
Yeah, that is the new reveal, right? The new.
No, we got point update tomorrow, Adam.
Yeah, points update.
We got
Yeah.
points. They're gonna be changing points for the first time since the Codex is released. I imagine every time. Well, at least I'm hoping every time we get a Codex release, we get a points update. That'd be sick.
Yep.
I imagine it'd be pretty necessary with new units coming into the game. What are you hoping for?
Ooh, I'm hoping Eldar gets nerfed as an Eldar
Yeah,
player.
you play Eldar, so I know it's like very good of you to say.
Yeah, I don't like how powerful they are. I don't think any army should be above what they were at, like an 8. They were actually at a 79% win rate from what I've seen, which is insane.
Discounting
And-
Eldari and Gene Stealers fighting each other, like against
yeah,
everyone below their bracket. They're pushing 70.
Yeah. Space Marines, I'm hoping Terminators get a points decrease, to maybe 180. Like that's more reasonable than 205 points. I think the Desolation Marines, I think they'll get nerfed.
Again,
They're still really good. Yeah.
here's the problem
There's-
that I see with a lot of problems with 10th edition at the moment, is that all of these problems that like make people frustrated or that make units better than they should be, It's not the points, it's the rules. The rules are what make
Oh
them
yeah.
problematic, and you can make them more expensive, but it's still going to be just as annoying or just as potentially good or broken once that unit is on the battlefield doing the same thing it was doing before. And sure, you'll potentially have less of them, or you'll have less of other things, but you'll still have the same amount of the thing that is causing the problem. So, take Eldar for example. They got a nerf pretty soon after Index release, surprisingly quickly, that nerfed them. They increased the points of a lot of a couple key pain points. It didn't help. It literally changed nothing. They're still at the top of the leaderboard. They're still wiping games. They're still destroying in casual and tournament. And the problem is not, and like, sure, if you take their points down to a certain, like, by a certain degree, there will be less Eldar on the table. And personally, I don't think that's the way Eldar should play. I don't think you should have elite Eldar on the table. Now, it's not to say that's what's going to happen, but it's a problem that would be solved much better by adjusting the rules rather than changing the points. But with quarterly updates only being points, that's all we can hope for now. Admech need like an adrenaline shot right now.
Points decrease around
Their Skitarii need to go down
board.
like 20 or 30 points, dude. It's insane.
Yeah,
You're telling me you got a
10
10-man exaction squad allying themselves with every Imperium army, and a squad of 10 Skitarii costs 125 points?
It's ridiculous.
It's insane. It's mind-boggling. Admech are in a whole level of stew right now of bad. And they could be... Honestly, their detachment is half the reason, because it's just a bad detachment, and it doesn't come up half the time, so they're basically only playing with an army rule. That's a good army rule, but it'd be nice if you had a little bit more on the table of your T3 infantry.
Yeah,
I don't think Terminators are going to get touched, because they're very tanky for what they are.
Yeah.
I haven't heard people complaining about them, so.
I like Assault Terminators better. Personally, I think normal Terminators, I would rather have a shield that makes them tankier than a combi bolter, because I feel like that combi bolter won't do that much damage. What is the profile? Like strength 4, AP 0, rapid fire 1?
It's 401. Rapid fire 2.
Yeah, like, I don't know, I'd rather have a shield or another strong melee weapon, because Terminators really benefit from that melee. Especially Chain Fist. Chain Fists are quite good at vehicles with anti-vehicle 3-up. It's pretty good. Other points decreases / increases you'd like to see?
God. Okay, ignoring the conversation of a rules change would be better than a points change. Focusing on points specifically. There are just so many factions that need help. And their problems will not be solved by points, but they will be helped by points. Votann are like dead at the bottom. And as much as I dislike them personally and selfishly, they deserve cheaper units. I think they're still suffering from their 9th edition power, and I think that ironically, grudges need to be let go, and they need to be set free to be able to play the game alongside everybody else. Have you seen any of the leaks going around for potentially point stuff?
No. I had seen one post where it was I forgot the actual faction, but they're like, yeah, there'll be a lot around of that. Let me see if I can try and find it. But
it's like your classic Discord Doom posting, like Custodes or everything's getting points increased. But those leaks are like, you got to take them with a grain of salt, and if they're made less believable by the fact that they say like core rules are going to be changed or like this rule is going to be tweaked, and it's like, no, it's not. They're not. They. I don't remember the last time GW has changed part of the core rules outside of like data slates. They're not going to do that on a points change. And then after the points drop comes and the leak is proven false, the leaker will come out and be like, no, guys, it's for the data slate in 3 months. Just you wait. But at that point, nobody cares. So I'm looking forward to the points. It'll be fun to read it. It'll be fun to read everybody lose their minds and get mad. I will continue to paint my AdMech and have fun playing my very casual games of boarding actions.
Yep.
I'm tired.
Anything else?
There's a lot of talking.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, that's pretty much all we wanted to talk about here. Lucky 1's has been booming in terms of population lately. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. Do you want to say what Lucky 1's is?
If someone's watching this, they better damn well know who it is. If you've made it to this point in this video and you haven't clicked away because we're bad at this, and you like don't know who we are, then that's a miracle, because that means that the YouTube gods have like put this on a platter and like sprayed Italian cooking oil on it and crisped it to the perfect degree to the point where it's like being put in front of everybody. That's not going to happen. But if you are watching this video and you do know who we are and you know exactly what's on because you're subbed to the channel for some reason, we're sorry we haven't come out with any videos. It's just that life is busy and life is hard and we're trying to do better.
Yep.
Lucky 1's Wargaming. We're based in Michigan. We like 40K. We like other games. We hope to play more games with everyone in our group. And you, wherever you are, come to Michigan. Come play games with us. Potential tournament coming up in November, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, potentially November. Gonna be hosted at Pandemonium Games. 2K, 16 players. Probably.
May have to look into that. I'm not hosting this time, so maybe I'll be able to play.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. All right, my throat is gone. My voice is shot. My jimmies are rustled, and I think we're about finished here.
All right.
Well, Adam, thank you for sitting here and spinning the yarn with me, talking about stuff. It was fun.
Thanks for having me.
I enjoy speaking. I enjoy speaking with others about fun games and cool minis. So, who knows? We'll get the points tomorrow. Maybe next week we get together, talk about the fallout, talk about who was shafted, who got what they deserved, and have a fun time with it. Maybe even Jed can come on and talk.
Yeah, Jed will probably come talk. You'll see a new person.
That'd be fun.
New guest. Yep.
All right. Is that how we end it? Just awkwardly talking to each other?
Yeah, probably.
Perfect.